Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video. Welcome again. Well, for the first time, anyways, let me stop talking and let's just get into it. So, yesterday I got a new MacBook Pro 14-inch, and yes, I did have to make a sacrifice, but, anyways, it's the M1 chip. Very excited because I've heard a lot of good things about this laptop. Like, it should be really fast, and I'm so excited. So here she is, the MacBook Pro 14-inch. I'm so sorry guys, I didn't do an unboxing, but I was just so excited to just open it. So basically, it's MacBook Pro 14-inch. We got the it's put into like the back of the MacBook. I personally feel like it's a nice, it's a nice aesthetic look for it, and it looks more of a square, like back to like 2015 vibes of the MacBook Pro. I genuinely really liked it, and the most important thing that we have is this, guys. This makes me so happy. I missed these ports. HDMI ports are back. We've also got MagSafe. MagSafe is finally here. We got a headphone jack, high fidelity, 6-speaker sound system, full size backlit Magic Keyboard. Guys, the Magic Keyboard is so beautiful. At least now you get more capabilities with this laptop than over the MacBook Pro, the 13-inch, of course. Obviously, the 13-inch has its more appealing looks, which I'm gonna show to you guys right now. So we've also got a Touch ID. I love the Touch ID standard. So we've got Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.0, 1080p FaceTime camera. Well, I guess it's an upgrade. It's better than the 13-inch, that's for sure, which is stuck at 720p. So we did some Cinebench tests on the multi-core and the single-core CPU. The multi-core CPU clocked out at 9,514, and the single core clocked out at 1,530. And if you check Geekbench's tests, that's not too far off for, like a high performance laptop like this is. It's just shocking that something can be this good inside a laptop. Like, the screen 14-inch is just amazing, guys. Just look at this. This is cutting edge technology, and it makes me so excited to even like hold this laptop in front of me. And I genuinely like the feel and the touch of the laptop. It's not, for me personally, I got it because I just wanted something that was a bit of an upgrade from what I had before. I had Air, and safe to say, like, within a day of using it, it is just absolutely fantastic. Like, it is so fast. The M1 is truly a very good chip. I love it so much. And the M1 Pro, sorry, because this one has the Pro, I love it. I genuinely do love it, with the keys and the way it's just so fast. Like, as you guys can see now with the scrubbing in YouTube videos, for example, DaVinci, I can scrub through this video seamlessly without ever having to worry about it slowing down, rendering, taking time. So let's just play a random song. No copyright music. Let's just, I don't know which song to play. Anyways, that's it. I mean, the speakers are personally something I really do enjoy. The speakers sound so bass. There's so much bass into the speakers, and I generally personally do like that they have added that bass. So the laptop comes in many different sizes. many different form factors. So there's the 16 gig unified memory. You can upgrade the specs if you want. There's the 16 gig unified memory with 512 SSD, which is the one that I have. But you can always spec it up if you want to the M1 Max. So the M1 Pro is the Pro chip is should be much faster than the M1, the normal M1. But I guess on single core it's relatively similar, and on multi-core that's where you slightly see the differences. But I mean, this laptop is a beauty. But I mean, let's just be honest with ourselves, like not everyone will necessarily need to buy a laptop that's like this. If you're just want to do like regular work and all that kind of stuff, it'll be better for you to just stick to the M1 Mac Air, because it just does the job. It's actually a very good laptop. I've used it before, and as well as the MacBook Pro, the 13-inch, very brilliant. The M1 as a whole is a brilliant chip designed by Apple. I really, really do enjoy and like the way that Apple approached creating it and moving away from Intel and focusing more on their in-house production, which is a good move. It's a very good move. But I mean, obviously these devices come with a hefty price tag, and not everyone will need the 14 or the 16 or the 13 Pro, or you might just stick to Air. So it's very important to know what you need it for. So basically, if you need that for just your daily emails, your scrolling and a bit of video editing, maybe the Air would suit you best. It will suit you best, and then the storage capacity will just be to your specifications, because the M1 is reasonably quite good according to Cinebench and other many CPU tests to actually push the computers to the limits. I genuinely do believe that the M1 chip is a very good chip, and if you want a bit more performance, you might want to consider the 13-inch MacBook Pro. But if you want a laptop that's fairly balanced and you want that bigger screen and you want that more real estate, I'd genuinely suggest that you take the MacBook Pro, the 14-inch, if you're really willing to do it, because it is quite an expensive laptop. It's not cheap, but the things that you get for it are amazing. Personally, I don't have a problem with the notch. The notch is a good addition, I guess. For me personally, I do enjoy the notch. Well, not really enjoy, but I don't have a problem with it. And if you see on what I'm showing you now, that even when you enter like full mode, sometimes the notch does disappear, especially like on YouTube. The notch does disappear for a bit and you can barely see it. And sometimes when you move the cursor over the notch, it actually kind of skips. So I don't think that is a very big problem for me personally. And also the camera that they've upgraded on the MacBook Pro 14 is actually quite good. It's 1080p, better than the one from the MacBook Pro, the 13-inch. It's step up, and with video conferencing and stuff like that, it would be better to, if you really need it, it would be more advisable to move to the 1080p if you really want it. It's something to consider. And I know I might be sounding like I am being a bit too biased and supporting more of the 14-inch. I felt bonded to the computer. I mean, I know it's a weird thing to say, but the computer, I love it so much. And I also love the other ranges that Mac that Apple has. And you know, there are plenty of options there out there that you might consider, but I highly do recommend you know what you want and just don't rush into making a decision like, oh, I want this laptop just because of the brand name or something like that. No, you should take your time and decide which one best suits you and which specs you'd rather upgrade to, because that's another very big thing you need to consider, because specs is gonna be basically something that you're gonna have to consider, because you know sometimes, you know, with the M1, maybe sometimes an 8 gig is better in some certain situations, like you don't need to do video editing every single day. Then you might want to spec up the RAM up a bit, maybe to a 64. I think the highest is a 64. I'll just check. And final words from me: get what you need, know what you need, and make sure it is what you exactly need. Don't go wasting money like I did, and get something that you actually genuinely need for your purposes and what you want to do, because that's the most important thing.